What's up, family? I'm making this video for you to forget fear. Fear is holding you back. Fear is the opposite of faith and or creation. You were created to be a creator, okay? The reason why Jesus was here to be a definition of your divinity. What I'm saying is he is a template for who you're supposed to be. Okay? So you weren't created just to worship Jesus, you were created to embody Jesus. Okay? And his gifts or blessings, okay? And that's why fear is the opposite of that. Think about everything. Every negative, heinous, horrible thing that we do comes from a place of fear. People commit crimes over fear. People hurt people over fear. People steal, kill, take, put down, talk about, gossip. It all comes from fear. We judge off of fear. And when you embody fear, then you take your power away from creating your reality. See, when you remove all fear, you relinquish the hold that the Matrix has over you. The Matrix can't hold you if you have no fear, because it's like the linchpin for it to. They use the fear energy to connect to you. But you can't get connected to if you have no fear. You've unplugged yourself. That's what releasing fear unplugs you from the matrix, because now there's nothing holding you to that control. You understand? So when you release fear completely, and that's how you create your reality. So if you start your day with fear and then bad things happen to you or contrasting things happen to you, you're the creator of that because you were expecting that. But when you come from a place of faith and confidence, and you take control of your reality. I remember I was walking in the hood. I was in East Orange, New Jersey. I was just walking around. I was staying at an Airbnb with my girl, and I was just walking around the corner. And that's not my hood, you know what I mean? If you know street politics, you know that ain't my hood. But I was walking around the corner because Earth's my hood, you know what I mean? So I'm walking through, and there was a group of guys, about maybe 7, 8 guys, and I seen them from a distance, and I could have crossed the street, or I could have walked in the street, especially in Jersey, is what we do. I don't know why, but in Jersey, people love walking in the street when there's plenty of sidewalk. It's a Jersey thing, whatever. But I could have did that. And I said, no, I'm walking straight, no fear, you know what I mean? And I walked straight through them, and, it was love, there was respect between us, you know what I'm saying? And I kept it moving, you know what I mean? But if I would have gave into that fear, just like they say, dogs smell fear, you know what I mean? Fear is an energy that holds you back and stops you from becoming your full divine self. You are here to be divine. You are here from divinity. That's why fear keeps you from divinity, because it makes you do and feel a negative way. Think about it. If a person's, stealing, he's in fear of lack. If a person's killing, he's in fear of pain. Most people that kill people are scared of the other person that they kill. Or they're scared of losing that person. You see that in relationships and all that. You know what I mean? I meant to say unaliving. But what I'm trying to say is, once you release fear completely, you're able to take control of your reality. You're able to control what your reality gives to you. Because you're here to be a creator. You're here to be in Jesus' image. God made us in his image. So you're here to create the same way Jesus did. And what's the one thing that Jesus lacked? And that was fear. He had no fear when he was going through the crucifixion. He had no fear when he was on the cross. And then he what? Resurrected. You see the distinctions in that? You see the metaphors? You're able to resurrect a new self, the divine self for you once you release fear. Because that's what you're here for. You chose to be here, to go through these human experiences. Remember, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. Not a human being having a spiritual experience. No, 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 no. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Through that human experience, you learn ascension. You learn how to ascend yourself through trials and tribulations. That's why it's good to go through trials and tribulations, because you find out what you're made of. If it doesn't break you, it's making you. If it doesn't kill you, it's making you stronger. And you release fear. Now, fear and insecurity are one thing and the same. Because if you wasn't insecure, you wouldn't feel fear in the first place. So you have to release all that and let it go. And that's why faith is so important. Because once you release the fear, then you have to have faith that this is the right thing to do. I'm not telling you not to be cautious, but I am telling you to understand that you were created for a reason. You were born for a reason. There's a 1 in 400 trillion, yes, trillion chance that a human being is to be born. 1 in 400 trillion. So in that small percentage, you made it. You're here for a reason. Embody that. Let go of the fear so you can start taking control over your life and attract all the abundance and prosperity that you deserve. Because you're worth it. You deserve this. You deserve greatness. You deserve happiness. You deserve peace. You deserve love. These are all the things that is your birthright. But it comes when you let go of the fear. Fear is a tool that the Matrix and or the devil and or whatever you want to call it uses to keep you trapped. Once you release all fear, you're free. There's nothing that can hold you back. And then when things happen to you or don't happen to you, because now you have faith unconditionally, you trust it and you don't trip over it. You got this, but you have to release the fear. The fear is holding you back from being your true self, to being your divine self. You are divinity incarnate. You are divine. You are divine idea in the mind of God. Everything is good and very good, but you have to release the fear. And I get it. It ain't easy, but it's simple. I love y'all. Peace.